UNICEF è la società di
UNICEF is the educational service of the Industrial Association of Treviso.
Sviluppa quindi attività consulenziale, in particolare per
UNICEF does consulting, particularly for the local companies Treviso and Pordenone. In its activities, it has implemented an experience workshop. One of the characteristics of this workshop is to host Euroisa. It is the European Institute of Sensory Analysis wanted by the Industrial Association of Treviso.
Che mira a promuovere la qualità.
Its goal is to promote life quality, the perception of final users or citizens on products and services.
Degli utenti finali, dei cittadini qualsiasi, rispetto a prodotti e servizi. Nel caso di specie, in particolare,
particularly in the category of food, main topic of the Expo 2015 in Italy.
Che cos'è l'analisi sensoriale?
What is sensory analysis? It is the five senses perception. It is activated on products, on environments, on food.
Un ambiente rispetto a un cibo. Come noi riusciamo a percepire un prodotto, un alimento, quindi il gusto, la vista.
It is how we perceive a product through the five senses: taste, sight, touch, smell, perfume, taken individually or mixed together.
Fa due attività principali.
Euroisa has two different activities.
I cosiddetti giudici sensoriali.
The first is training the sensory judges, the panel leaders. Citizens are made aware of sensory analysis.
Formati, sensibilizzati sulla tematica dell'analisi sensoriale.
On the other hand, Euroisa makes services to industries and companies on their own products.
Circa i prodotti che loro fanno, che possono essere più disparati.
Their products can be variable: food, shoes, environments, museums, and so on.
Può essere anche un ambiente, un percorso museale, dove tutto ciò, torno a ripetere, che
So, summing up, every time when sense perception is involved,
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am the director of UNICEF, one of the 5 group companies in Industria Treviso. I present the company, but as my English is not fluent, I prefer ask the help of one colleague. Makes everything faster. Thank you for the attention. Now, UNICEF is a company with 2 partners.
Okay.
Come lo faccio scorrere?
Okay.
Okay. UNICEF is a company with 2 partners. un'industria o Confindustria Treviso and the Confindustria Pordenone are two
Provinces, yes.
Are two provinces. We have about 3,000 companies associated for 140 employees.
1,000 employees.
Inoltre noi abbiamo circa 1 migliaio di aziende non associate che seguiamo.
Furthermore, we have around 1,000 non-associated companies, which we take care of.
4 le aree di riferimento che stiamo sviluppando, as you can see in the slide.
4 areas we are developing, as you can see from the slide.
L'area del training, il founding, consulting e l'UNIS&F Lab. For training we consider all the type of activity as administration, control.
Yes. For as type of training proposal, we have, as you can see from the slide, drafting and preparation catalogs, shop assistant, mobility and redundancy, apprenticeship, product categories, and e-learning.
Ecco, noi sviluppiamo attività sia a pagamento sia con finanziamenti pubblici o finanziamenti di fondi privati.
Yes, and we, let's say, offer this kind of training and service activities either both under payment or through fundings.
Oltre a questo sviluppiamo attività rivolte ai giovani disoccupati, quindi ai giovani.
Furthermore, we develop also activities that are addressed to young unemployed people.
Rilasciamo patentini ECDL, quindi patente europea informatica.
And we deliver even ECDL certificates. So these are kind of European licenses.
E rilasciamo anche certificazioni nell'ambito della saldatura con un ente di certificazione nazionale.
And we also release certifications regarding the welding specialization.
L'attività di formazione rappresenta il 60% del nostro fatturato.
The training activity represents more or less 60% of our turnover.
Che si aggira complessivamente sui 7 milioni.
That is around more or less 7 million euro.
A seguito dell'attività di formazione c'è stata richiesta una assistenza consulenziale dalle nostre aziende.
As consequence of our training activities, our associated companies have requested us a kind of consulting activity.
Che come voi potete vedere nelle slide riguarda l'ambito della sicurezza, della privacy.
And these consulting activities, as you can see from the slides, refer to safety and privacy, yes, quality, implementation of the quality system, maintenance, improvement, auditing.
E più tutta un'altra serie di servizi.
And also other services, as you can see from the slide, so translation services and technical manuals, CE marking, food safety, environment, MEPA, telecommunications, and so on.
Noi abbiamo 3 sedi.
We have 3 sites.
Una a Treviso che vedrete domani.
One is in Treviso that you are seeing tomorrow.
perché questa è la sede di rappresentanza dell'associazione industriali.
Because
quindi
this building is the, let's say, association site
che è il nostro parte principale,
of,
insomma, associazione industriale.
of the Industriali Association, that is our main partner.
La seconda sede, che noi chiamiamo UNIS&F Lab, è un capannone ristrutturato dove ci sono di 1600 metri, dove come voi vedete ci sono una serie di attività, tra cui anche l'analisi sensoriale.
The second site is what is called UNICEF Lab, is a restored plant, and as you can see from the slide, it's around 1,600 square meters.
La terza sede è l'associazione, è presso la provincia di Pordenone, l'associazione industriale di Pordenone.
And the third site is in Pordenone province at the Associazioni Industriali in Pordenone.
Qui alcuni numeri sullo sviluppo dell'attività formativa, in particolare nei primi 10 mesi, 10 months of last year. About 2,000 companies and 10,000 employees
Have been involved in this activity.
Hanno utilizzato la nostra attività. Ecco. L'ultima slide.
The last slide is about the awards.
Circa i riconoscimenti e gli accreditamenti da parte della Regione Friuli e Regione Veneto, 2 regioni ovviamente d'Italia.
These are awards received by the 2 regions, so Veneto and Friuli.
Il riconoscimento ovviamente come sistema di qualità, ma in particolare il rating legalità, che è un riconoscimento nazionale non molto diffuso di attestazione sulla correttezza delle procedure diciamo amministrative e contabili.
So now I kindly ask you to repeat everything because it's very long. Okay, so the first award, il primo riconoscimento riguarda il sistema qualità. The first award regards the quality system.
I 2 regionali, già detti.
Yes, è quello
il
del
rating legalità
and the most important is probably the legality ratings.
È un riconoscimento non molto diffuso.
This is a recognition that is not so spread, let's say.
Perché la procedura per ottenerlo implica coinvolgere tutti i clienti e i fornitori e dimostrare la correttezza dell'intera amministrazione.
Because to get this recognition means the involvement of all clients and suppliers, just to demonstrate, to prove that the activity is carried out according to legal systems.
Oh, basta. Ho finito.
That's all?
Yes, that's all.
Okay.
Se c'è qualche domanda, se no io
have any questions?
lascio
Otherwise,
all'attività operativa della giornata.
Mr. Antonello leaves the floor to the operative activity of the day.
It's tocca a te. No, lei non so, rimanga.
Sì, sì. L'agenda. Ah, ok, quello in giallo. Basta no. Eccolo qua.
Eccolo qua. Io non parlo inglese.
Ah, ok. Quindi noi dobbiamo dire queste cose evidenziate in giallo?
Allora.
Non è questo?
No,
Ok. In poche parole, chi è lei? Così la introduco.
Allora, buongiorno a tutti.
Good morning to everybody. Mr. Tiziano Casanova.
Ci conosciamo tutti, benvenuti a Treviso.
We know all and welcome in Treviso.
I don't speak English evidentemente. If you want to speak with me in French, in Spanish, I am here.
Oh, okay. Good to know, right? Spanish and French.
Ora, alcune notizie organizzative
Well, some now organization news
di queste 3 giornate.
of these 3 days.
Oggi siamo a Palazzo Giacomelli.
This is Palazzo Giacomelli.
E sarà il palazzo Icon per una giornata.
This will be
Icon Project for a day.
building for the day.
E domani ci sposteremo negli uffici molto meno eleganti, ovviamente, ma avremo 3 giorni molto intensi.
Tomorrow we are moving to the less elegant site, but we are going to have very, very demanding days.
Allora, finita la mia introduzione, lascio il posto a Borut, che occuperà dalle 9:50 alle 11.
So after my introduction, I will give the floor to Mr. Borut. Sorry for the pronunciation.
E avrà tutta la vostra attenzione fino alle 11.
He will have your attention until 11,
Faremo poi un coffee break
then a coffee break,
e continueremo con la sessione plenaria.
and then we are going on with the plenary session
Dopo il coffee break.
after the coffee break.
Alle 12:30, alle 12:30 avremo la presentazione delle 3 sessioni
At 12:30, we are going to have the presentation of the 3 sessions
con Eva
with Eva
per la meccatronica,
for
alle
mechatronics,
12:35 l'ingegner Andras per il food safety,
at 12:35, engineer Andras Sebok for the food safety, and finally,
alle 12:40 il professor Lorenzo Secco per il food packaging.
12:40, Professor Lorenzo Secco for the food packaging.
Alle 12:50 avremo ospite per un saluto di cortesia la vicepresidente di Un'Industria, dottoressa Sabrina Carraro.
So at 12:50, we are having here for a quick greeting to you, the Vice President of Un'Industria Treviso, Sabrina Carraro.
Ci fermeremo per una pausa al pranzo giù al piano terra
The lunch will be downstairs
a ore 13.
at 1.
Inizieremo poi nel pomeriggio i lavori delle 3 sessioni.
In the afternoon, we are opening the 3 sessions.
Avremo food safety,
Food safety at 2,
mechatronica,
mechatronics,
chiedo scusa, il packaging, la meccatronica
mechatronics
e il safety.
and safety.
Ok? E qui arriveremo con una pausa di metà pomeriggio
Then we are having a break mid-afternoon,
alle 18 di sera, 17:30.
and we
18.
finish at 6 o'clock, more or less.
Domani,
Tomorrow,
per chi dorme in albergo, ci raccogliamo come questa mattina in centro.
for the people that are accommodated in the hotel, the meeting is here in the city center.
Prenderemo un
We
bus
take a bus
e andremo a 2 chilometri alla sede di UNIS&F.
and we take a bus and we go to the UNIS&F side, around
E
2 kilometers
inizieremo i lavori
from the
delle 3
city center.
sessioni distinte.
And we are starting the workings of the 3 sessions divided, okay?
Con delle pause
With some
per
breaks,
coffee break,
coffee breaks,
finiremo a una certa ora della sera, della tarde come si dice, e l'autobus vi accompagnerà agli hotel.
In the evening, the bus will take you back to the hotels.
E alle 18:45 precisi come svizzeri,
And at 6:45, precise as Swiss,
ecco, partiremo per una serata che sarà un po' sull'estetica, sul bello, sul concetto del bello e un momento di amicizia.
and so at that time, very punctual, we are going to leave for, let's say, a beauty night, okay?
Ok. Ritorneremo, vi lasceremo nelle montagne.
Then we come back together. We are not going to leave you on the mountains.
Giovedì
On Thursday,
ricominceremo le attività al lab, quindi verrete raccolti con l'autobus.
again, we restart the activities at the lab, so you're going to be picked up by the bus again.
Chiuderemo le attività nell'immediato post catering, post buffet.
So we are closing the activities just after the buffet.
Faremo con Borut una ultima sessione plenaria
And with Mr. Borut, we are going to have the last plenary session to draw the conclusions.
per tirare un po' le fila.
To draw the conclusions.
Devo dire due cose molto importanti.
I have to say two very important things.
Abbiamo chiesto a tutti voi di firmare due registri,
We have asked you to sign two registers,
un registro generale
a
for
general register
l'interprete tutti, e di entrata e uscita,
of entry and exit,
citando l'ora.
writing the time.
Nel contempo vi chiediamo anche di firmare un registro per sessione.
At the same time, we ask you kindly for signing a register that is just for every session,
Mattino e pomeriggio.
morning and afternoon.
Questo è importante perché invieremo a voi l'attestato di
This
partecipazione.
is very important because then we are sending you the certification of attendance.
La regia mi dice di ricordare la puntualità.
The organization reminds me to remind you the punctuality.
La regia, ecco. E vi informo che le sessioni e la giornata di oggi verrà interamente registrata.
And I inform you
Video
that
e
the
audio.
whole day of today will be broadcasted.
E poi faremo delle foto anche documentali,
And then we are going to take some pictures as documents
ecco, per le 3 sessioni.
for the 3 sessions.
Vi segnalerò per ogni necessità il mio numero di telefono.
I'm going to give you my telephone number
scriverò
just in
giù.
case of necessity.
È un numero segreto,
It's a secret number.
però è a vostra disposizione.
It's at your disposal.
Ok? Buon lavoro.
Good job.
Invito Borut ad iniziare.
Please, Mr. Borut.
Ecco, vieni Borut. Qui, tranquillo. Vai. Loro ti guardano. Sì. Ok.
Okay, hello everybody. Mr. Antonello, Mr. Casanova, ladies and gentlemen, project partners, facilitators to be. I would like to welcome you also in the name of the leading project partner, also in my personal name. It's basically a pleasure to welcome you all at this very important moment in the project, since this training academy seems to be one of the milestones of the project. We appreciate the efforts of the partners who actually, let me see if it works. Another one? Okay. Obviously I'm not that good with the technique. Okay. Okay, now it works. I was pushing the wrong button, but it happens. Where I was. Yes, about the project partnership. This project is basically a long story of few partners that already started this idea, to develop this idea as a follow-up. However, the project was in 2016 evaluated among the best, since it has good content and partnership that can contribute. The total value of the project is about something above 2 million, with ERDF of 1.8 million, and its duration is 36 months. So we are now just about on the halfway, and the name, as it says, it stands for Improving Competencies and Skills Through Food Sector Innovations. Let me go further. Okay, now you see the partnership. As I said, it was meticulously selected. Why that was important? It is important due to the fact that we decided for an approach which is called transfer of knowledge from more developed regions toward less developed regions, and for that you need competent partners. The partnership consists of 10 partners coming from 7 Central European countries. We have 4 knowledge partners. This is a principle that we decided for, and the ground for the project was basically that although food processing sector or food industry is not among those with the high value added, like, I don't know, space or other car industry maybe, but it shows that it's very stable and very important for the national economies, not only from economic point of view, but also from a point that brings a certain amount of jobs, the control of the food that we eat, and by that contributes to stability, and these global fluctuation is not affecting countries that are giving this sector such an important role. Challenge for us in this project, or idea why this project actually grew up from a seed, which was, as I said already, idea of a couple of partners, is basically that in this industry is particularly very strong also in remote areas and gives employment to these areas, and the problem was how to boost or how to make these regions or remote areas more, let's say, how should I say, that they can include themselves as producers into the supply chains of transnationally, naturally, because the national markets are getting smaller, and the critical mass for achievement that is very important. So either you are competitive or market will simply not accept you. Situation in these regions is basically declining employment opportunities. Traditional industries are basically affected by these structural changes, and we saw kind of a solution in that sense, that we stimulate this economic activity either through these, I would say, intermediates or institutions, or some national or regional measures of support to develop this sector by enabling them access to the resources needed. Either they are in equipment, laboratories, or services, concrete, coaching, whatever it's necessary, all in the sense that we get these actors more competitive and cost-effective, and assuring the quality, repeatable quality, which is maybe an issue with smaller producers. As I said already, food sector is very important due to the complementary industry, which reflects in cross-sectoral innovations that are coming from mechatronics or various other sectors that are influencing the quality of the food, and innovativeness, which also includes the traditional dishes to be prepared on modern ways. And by that we are naturally saving these regions or giving them a leverage somehow to be able to grow economically and improving the quality of life in these regions for the people. How? We are just trying to somehow raise the competencies of the people and the industry or small and medium-sized companies by letting them or enabling them access to the knowledge that they are, or equipment or other resources that they need so they can be more competitive. So I said previously that we selected approach which is based on knowledge partners which are coming from the more developed regions, which have competence, experiences, and somehow we are striving to get this expertise or this special knowledge also to these remote areas. Regional partners are there for basically representing target markets. The idea of the project is to connect these markets, to transfer the knowledge, and what we are actually looking in this project is concrete business to business or business to science to business cooperation. I believe that although the project is well on or well off if you want, I believe that there are still great potentials to be activated, so this project will bring even better results. So what are the objectives? We are addressing various stakeholders actually, and for the policy level maybe there is a message that it's worth investing in this sector and in these areas, that we can boost with introducing some innovative approaches in 3 topics that we identified as quite critical for the development of these companies. It's worth since it brings higher quality of products, of living for the people. So politicians should be actually really interested in investing and supporting this kind of activities or sector as such. At the end of the project, we expect that by experiences and testing that we are actually doing, that there will be recommendation toward policymakers which supporting measures that we tested could bring real impacts in these regions. For the intermediates, this is kind of a very important role, since through the training academy, they will broaden or make their competencies wider in 3 new topics, so they can improve their services that they're providing to their members. Also, they can, through the analysis of the market, they got a bottom-up kind of information what is actually needed, since the top-down projects are usually, policies are kind of directed, but not necessarily meeting the targets. And this project could bring some feedback, actually, what is needed. What are we resolving here is basically disparities among the regions. By that, we are enabling companies to be part of transnational supply chains. We prevent brain drain or job drain, if you want. We strive for accomplishing some new jobs, basically through this Internet of Things or Industry 4.0, which is more and more actually available also for the small and medium-sized companies suffering in funding, because these technologies are now cheaper and they enable such small and medium-sized companies to be somehow using this technology. Okay, this is a message kind of maybe for the media, but I already mentioned that. What's in it for the SMEs involved? Basically, they get access to some innovative solutions. They get access to the experts who will do the audits, and even then some selected companies will get even co-financed for a certain amount. What I would like to emphasize at this stage, because there will be a lot of facilitators that are sitting among you, is basically not to neglect other which will not be selected as pilot cases. We should nourish them, keep them in process. You can do it, if not through the project, you can do it on commercial base. So basically, use the opportunity while you are doing these audits, get connected, and I believe that SMEs will appreciate your attitude plus the solution that you will provide them. So this is maybe beyond what is written in the project, but the idea was like that. So as many as possible of these solutions to be provided or available. And for that, we got, let's say, 2 pilot lines, I would say. One is this pool of experts, which is gathered in Transnational Food Mentor Scheme. You will be most of you will be part of it as mentors or facilitators, and even solution providers, companies. On the other side, there is a crowd design platform which is meant as a tool to be, let's say, getting some designs also. It's not the same as the Transnational Food Mentor Scheme part of the design that we have as a special topic, but additionally, for those that I can get to, let's say, cost-value ratio of services on a global market. For example, we did analyze this CDP platform, which was selected, and found out that also in Slovenia we have something like 780 designers already being participant to that platform. So it's quite stuff that we might underestimate at the current moment. But this Atlas mapping tool, which is basically part of the next presentation, is kind of a culmination of all activities at one place. Basically, it's a front-end web application available to wider world, so everybody can access it, use it, and with the help of facilitators get concrete information. I will not lose much more of your time. In case further information are needed, I'll be very happy to answer you. Also, I believe that the project partners will be able to do so. Now I'm addressing pretty much the facilitators, but also maybe to have the summary of what was already achieved, so we brag a bit. There are some figures so far, not that we are already at the end of the indicators we administratively promised to the program authorities, let's say, who approved the project. But like you see, there are 3 thematic fields, 10 project partners. That's from the beginning. But the issue is that we have now one transnational food mentor scheme, which is operable, let's say, it's in operation. We got some, okay, we have crowd design platform working tool, handbook with good practices collected. We agreed that the one will be updated from time to time, since we are striving to get the state of the art at the end of the project. Hopefully we'll be able to continue. Some partners already expressed the wish that this project remains alive and sustainable. And with facilitators and partners of the project, we believe that's very easy to achieve. We got assessment tools, which can be upon new contributions from the solution providers updated. Concrete companies are also now involved. Then we have in our database of this Atlas mapping tool already above 1,000 contacts of the SMEs, which are either as a solution providers and those that can be targeted. 49 transnational projects identified. For those who are searching for some tools, maybe not bad idea to check and contact the responsible partners. This is also maybe good idea for the project partners to search for future project partners to make follow-ups. And there are 71 funding schemes. This is very important. Why? While you as facilitators will go around and talk to the SMEs, you could find co-financing for these services on commercial base later on. Some of them, as I said, will be financed through the project pilot budgets, but the rest, you can find. Now it's up to the partners to update this database. Usually we expect that the practice will be that if some SME comes from a certain country or region, we'll check upon this availability of funds listed in the Atlas mapping tool with concrete facilitator from that country. On that tool, which will be later on presented, there will be all stated which are the functionalities and certain browsing criteria you can do. Also, we have 9 public authorities so far contacted, 23 regional authority, 30 national public authority, 15 large enterprises, although not planned, but while searching for good solutions, naturally we went to them because they are among first who implement new technologies, new approaches, and basically if some of the SMEs want to be in their supply chain, has to be somehow in how is it called in English, complementary or under standards that they require. There are 206 SMEs that we already contacted. Among them, we will also search for some pilot appropriate companies, but it's not necessary. Partners still have chance to search for other or better cases upon this training academy when we will see which solutions are available. As I said, this whole project is a living lab approach. So it doesn't mean that in process development so far, some of the deliverables are already finished. We can update them. We can make them bigger. And from my side, that would be everything. These are still targets at the end we have to reach, but that's less of importance. Thank you for your attention and time spent. Okay, since I was a bit too quick, we decided to go with the next session, which was supposed to be after the coffee break. Maybe we'll get some time in, so later on in the afternoon you will be free to go earlier than planned. Okay, this second part is basically about introducing this Atlas mapping tool a bit more in details. First part is about this general information on the Atlas mapping tool, and the second one, which will be, in my opinion, following by my colleague after coffee break, unless I'm again overspeeding with this presentation. Okay. I already mentioned this Atlas mapping tool. As I said, this is basically the front-end web solution where all the partners' activities so far are somehow integrated. Integrated in the sense that all the desktop, all the on-field research for various criteria, barriers, drivers, whatever we did on regional level, it's incorporated. You will see more in details which are the consisting parts of that scheme or this tool. But the idea is basically it's integration of the knowledge. It's integration of the existing knowledge in the regions plus the existing expert knowledge. And it all should be applicable by food processing SMEs. The idea of this tool is to matchmake companies which strive or are in need for certain expertise, and either they have identified needs in mechatronics, food design, food safety, and quality. And while enabling them access to these resources, we feel that they could develop. Somehow they could get what they are lacking, or maybe there will be just simple consultancy, or maybe there will be concrete technical solutions that they need, or tips and tricks how to do that. But basically that will be done through our facilitators and mentors who will follow that stage. So while the facilitators are first cavalry for the knowledge partners to go on the field to scout for appropriate candidates, then the next wave will be concrete solution, let's say, for these companies. And this tool, available under this link, shall serve as a starting point. So companies are invited to browse, so partners and facilitators are invited to spread the word about this tool available, and hopefully there will be a response from companies willing to join or will ask for your services as facilitators and mentors. This is not just for regional partners but also knowledge partners who can use this tool. Okay, as I already mentioned, what is it basically that this tool is based on? As I don't see so far, I'll have to read like that. So we did analysis of the regional environment where we managed to scan actors that are in this ecosystem. We identified funding schemes which are on national or European level. This is maybe one of the most important inputs which needs to be refreshed. If you are going to contribute to that, like regional partners or even facilitators who have information on certain calls or tenders or funding opportunities, by updating this, for your market there will be much more interest from the SMEs to contact you. As I said, we also listed the project's partners for some tools that are available, so you have to contact them. Maybe that's less relevant for the companies directly, but good for you as intermediates. Then we said that through this training academy we will get at least 18 trained facilitators. So basically your names will be stated there. So the national, you will be kind of a national contact points for these SMEs that are coming from your regions. So usually what we predict, not necessarily that will be the case, but it would be like wish. Do I have the feeling that this mic is sometimes not working? Is it working all the time? Okay, okay. So the idea is that companies are contacting you as a facilitator for certain services. You will link with other resources, let's say, and you will strive to find funding opportunities among these schemes that we have. So we hope that this database will grow. And then you can find solutions that might be financed on national level. For example, that in Slovenia there is a company who would like to have a service, I don't know, in food safety, and will be able to invite, let's say, Andraš to come to Slovenia. So we'll search for the funds either on Slovenian side, if there will be also similar funding, which is rare also, but possible on Hungarian side. We should somehow connect these dots and find appropriate channels to transfer this co-financing activity so this knowledge goes beyond the borders. That's ideal case, but it's possible. Okay. We also said that we are basically listing SMEs as a solution providers. Either they come from the knowledge partner or external. And we also said that also within the regions we have certain solution providers which are able to be involved in activities, not only in pilots, but basically general model of consulting or helping companies. Okay. As I said, this tool consists of two, how should I say, they are called outputs, objectives, but they are actually two lines which are implemented in this tool. One is basically this group of mentors, facilitators, solution providers, companies. And this represents kind of a pool of knowledge, pool of experts. We defined it as a mobile, so basically partners, knowledge partners and their experts will, during the pilot activities, go to regional partners, regions and SMEs, and will do this audits. We expect them to bring some concrete reports, information, connections, how to resolve the problems or solve the problems of the companies in need. Maybe just here that we are striving at the end administratively to reach the goal of 15 companies being consulted and funded by these funds in pilot partners pilot budgets. 3 by 5 means 5 regions, 3 pilots, presumably in each of the 3 topic 1. But it can be interlinked, that you go with one company for all 3 of them, 3 expertise. The second line is basically a little bit less complicated or less demanding. It's basically web solution, which later will be presented by my colleague Grega. The idea is that while developing the project idea, we spoke with JS on consultings, how to approach, and they said, don't invent something that already exists. So that was kind of a limiting factor for us, but on the other side also opportunity. So we did scan for the solutions existing and found this one as most appropriate. Among criteria was also that people get their money refunded if not satisfied. So that was one of 7 criteria we did use for the selection. And this solution with crowd design platform, which is concretely existing platform on the web, it's global. So you have access to over, I don't know how many million designers. Also, you as partners can invite your designers to take part in it. Why? Maybe this will sound a little bit strange to you, but while usually regional partners or SMEs coming from these regions are using their own designers, they don't trust that much foreigners. Although it's good for the brainstorming idea, but this project can be somehow used that your designers apply to that platform and they wait for your call, for your concrete challenge, and they apply. And you have the opportunity to connect with them. So they are the selected designers for you. I know, it sounds like a cheap trick, but it's basically possible that you involve your regional either students of design or even institutions, although I doubt because there are some rules on that platform which will be later on explained by my colleague. But in general, that could be idea. Even if the companies that you will select will get only a fragment of the co-financing, it's a goodwill towards them. So next time you will approach, they will say, okay, they did something for me already once. I know, it's small money that we talk, but it's about the intention and your attitude. Worth of thinking. Okay, I believe that by now all project partners have already chance to check this tool. For facilitators, this might be something new, although maybe some of them already got in contact with our true regional partners with that tool. It's kind of a database where all the entries are selected in a specific way. Might be at the beginning a bit confusing how to enter the data, but we already did six trainings with 6 project partners to let them know how it works, how to use it in full. I hope that also the rest of the partners will use this opportunity, because it's a great channel for you and your companies and your services to be promoted. I expect also that you will promote this in your network. It can be a very cheap but helpful tool, and as long as this database will grow, it will make sense. And why not using it? What's in it for you? You have a channel of free distribution of services that are provided by certain companies, so that's first cookie for them, why they should join or why they should contact that. On the other side, there will be a market where they will be visible to SMEs in need, so they will contact them or facilitators directly, because all the data of the suppliers of the solutions or good practices will be available. There will be various search criteria. You can go through the country to the specific topic, by facilitator, by type of the organization you would like to deal with. So this tool has a lot of promising components, but it's now about how we will make our database substantial and how we will promote that. But the principles, I believe, that are already now clear to all, also facilitators. As I said, there are already some results that are showing on the 19th of March how far we got with that. I believe that Alexandra already asked partners to start with the filling up the database, also how this routine should be made. In case of questions, never hesitate. Don't feel embarrassed or whatever, just call us, because this is also your tool. And the emphasis is on that we make it wider as possible and spread among the interested parties. There are, as I said, some search criteria you will learn about, how you can search. There are various filters. I will not go in details with that, since the best way to do that is that you browse. Go and browse these things. Then you have also the possibility to export some file or contents that are there in PDF. As I said, there are certain functionalities that are meant for various or different target groups. For example, I don't believe that the SMEs will look for the projects of the partners, which is important maybe for the intermediates. This one is, like I said, among most important. We have to find a way to update that. I believe that we are all listed to some kind of clippings that are coming from various national agencies that are sending steadily links to open tenders or calls. So by adding these or links into that database, it enables partners, other partners, and also SMEs from your region to see what's available. I know that they are already linked to some newsletters that are coming, but if they find them in one place, even better. Okay, this is important because I mentioned that there will be a search that usually companies will approach you as a facilitator in certain region. I believe that everything what stands somewhere, it doesn't mean that everybody will believe, but seeing people, knowing people, getting in contact in person, that will be basically something that people trust. And from that point on, you will hook up the companies with you, especially when this cooperation gets some kind of a positive and concrete result at the end of the communication. Okay, this concrete tool has basically one front-end part which is meant for I would say random users or random visitors of the website, which are usually SMEs. There are also partner area basically of the project partners and also of the facilitators who will get certain access to fill in database, contributing to database. So you'll get available mapping tool users manual. I believe that partners already got one. If not, I believe currently it's only in file share for the project partnership, but also facilitators should have that. And then that's it basically. Now we are coming to the concrete philosophy of the crowd design platform, part which is available on this Atlas mapping tool, and what follows going to the concrete work on the crowd design platform. So if I'll steal a word from the mouth of my colleague Grega, Atlas mapping tool is the entry point from which companies will be able to go further for development of some branding or design related products. And here on the website, in this Atlas mapping tool, there are some information how to approach that. But in more details, as I said, that will be done by Grega. Here we are counting on facilitators also that are in the regions, partners regions, and will take over also this part of facilitation. This is different from the facilitators in the transnational mentor scheme, but they can be the same persons, especially those that are in design already involved. Okay, that's it. Any questions maybe? You are either so tired or I was so clear to you. I'm glad that I'm among first to lecture you. Okay, sorry. Anyway, if there will be any question at any point, just approach us from PTP, since we are kind of in the background of that story with the Atlas mapping tool, or with concrete experts, mentors, knowledge partners who will be able to give you more concrete information. Tiziano, dove sei? Okay. That's it. I would say if no longer we could go for the coffee. Okay, then I'll announce a coffee break. Thank you.